Deep in the heart of southwestern Arizona lies a church, but there is no mission and no cathedral. It is run by a reverend and a rabbi, but neither is affiliated with Judaism or Christianity. This church calls itself the Peyote Way Church of God, and membership provides exactly what you think, a mind-altering journey using the desert cactus hallucinogen. Composed of the alkaline mescaline, peyote is a tiny cactus with button discs which can be dried and eaten to induce an altered state of consciousness, a state so intense Brave New World author Aldous Huxley took mescaline and simply stared at a flower, and in it he saw, quote, a perpetual perishing and at the same time pure being. But what is an altered state of consciousness? Psychologist Charles Dart defines it as, quote, the qualitative alteration in the overall pattern of mental functioning, such as that the experiencer feels his consciousness is radically different from the way it functions ordinarily. In essence, altered states of consciousness are any experiences not within normal consciousness. Take the peyote, for example. Other than seeing God in a flower when taking it, some people experience the stars in a green hue, some see their worst nightmares coming to life in hallucinations.
That's what was going on in my head, going like that. And they're the other things I kept on seeing whenever I closed my eyes. They were a lot more scary in my head. I'm just very bad at drawing.
Others just vomit for the rest of the night. But all of these are radically different and subjective experiences to the same little cactus. To narrow down altered consciousness to a simple definition is impossible due to this subjectivity. But with this wide definition comes with it many routes to achieve altered consciousness. Stimulants like nicotine, caffeine, and cocaine all alter our normal forms of experience. Depressants like alcohol, tranquilizers, and antipsychotics seem to slow down and blur our experiences. Even sleep is considered an altered state of consciousness. When we sleep, we most likely experience normal consciousness, but in a different bodily state. This recreation of normal experience is itself an altered form of consciousness. But the most interesting cases of mind alteration lie in the family of peyote. Hallucinogenic drugs like peyote, DMT, magic mushrooms, and synthetics like LSD all work to, in the words of Huxley, quote, open the doors of perception in the human consciousness. But what does he mean, and why would people seek to open those doors? Huxley explains it like this. When we look into a flower, our normal consciousness is trained to eliminate as much information as possible and just give us the quick summary. We might think a single word like flower or rose or red. But when in an altered state of consciousness possible with peyote, the consciousness filters out nothing. The colors, the lighting, the smell, everything floods your experience at the same time. In essence, all of the doors of your perception are flung open, and the flower can only be described in one phrase. It just is. This explains why many religions throughout time have used these mind-altering substances to get closer to their gods. Peyote has been used in Native American religions of the Southwest for over 20,000 years. These substances allow man to experience, in the words of mystic poet William Blake, heaven in a wildflower. However, with this mind-altering power can come great danger. Many of the ways to biomedically induce altered states of consciousness are potentially lethal. Stimulants like cocaine, Adderall, and caffeine can easily lead to addiction, and higher doses needed to achieve the same altered state. This has proven especially true for adolescents whose brain chemistry has yet to establish consistent patterns. Though peyote is not as chemically addictive as other mind-altering substances, it can be abused, and terrifying hallucinations and depression from serotonin imbalances may occur. So there are risks, there are rewards. You stand in front of your own perceptual doors. The only question left is, do you open them? In my view, I think it's worth a try.